And let's move on to school fires, where a section of leaders in Machakos County has faulted the school education management over the recent spate of school arsons being witnessed across the country. Led by Machakos County Deputy Governor Francis Mwangangi, the leaders have hit out at the school managers for not clearly understanding and executing their role of ensuring the safety of learners while in school. This even as Narok Governor Patrick Ole Ntutu called for thorough investigations to be conducted on the fire that occurred at Hillside Academy and in other schools within the country. Timothy Kipnusu reports.
Ni vizuri sana na zaidi zile regulations ambazo serikali imeweka kuangalia kwamba shule zetu ambazo ni za mabweni vile zinapaswa kuwa, hizo regulations zifuatiliwe, na Ministry of Education, Ministry of Interior should ensure this happens. It is so sad to have lost this big number of pupils, and even more are not known their whereabouts.
Juzi tu ndio umepeleka aende shule, lakini leo unapigiwa simu ya kwamba huyo mtoto hayupo. Naomba tu wazazi wetu msiwatie walimu kasi hiyo. Hata nyinyi wazazi, ongelesha watoto wetu. Kuanguka kwa mitihani sio mwisho ya dunia, ambaye wanaogopa hii mitihani ndio wasifanye, ndio isijulikane nini nafanya.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has called on investigating agencies to be professional and lawful in executing their mandates and refrain from harassing and intimidating critics of the government. Addressing congregants at the Anglican Church of Kenya in Kayole in Nairobi's Embakasi Central constituency, the Deputy President said that Kenya Kwanza administration had promised Kenyans that the use of criminal justice system to settle political scores, that is, will be a thing of the past.
ACK Church in Kayole, Embakasi Central in Nairobi, played host to Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua on Sunday. The Deputy President warning the Directorate of Criminal Investigations and other investigating agencies to carry out the mandate with professionalism and refrain from intimidating dissenting voices.
All our officers should have 4 sets of laws to guide them. First and foremost, the Kenya Constitution. Number 2, the Penal Code, Cap 6.3. Number 3, the Criminal Procedure Code, CPC, Cap 75. And the Evidence Act, Cap 80. If you use those 4 laws, you will remain very professional.
Gachagua cautioned that the use of criminal justice system for politics was taking the country back to the dark days.
The use of the criminal justice system to manage politics made the 4th administration very unpopular. It doesn't make sense to harass Gakuya and Major Dong for no reason because of politics. Arresting them, confiscating their phones, intimidating them. Those things imepitwa na wakati.
While urging Kenyans to embrace the broad-based government, Gachagua said no leader would be replaced by those who joined the government.
For a long time, watu wengi wa serikali wamezoea kudanganya wananchi. Sasa watu wengi tuko nao kwa serikali hawajazoea hii maneno ya ukweli. Wanazoea maneno ya uongo. Sasa mimi nikiongea ukweli wanasema mimi naongea mbaya.
And I love your courage. I love your boldness. Yes, saa zingine hata mimi nikiangalia ukisimama ukiongea nasema kumbe hata mimi naweza kuongea. Kwani iko nini? Kama naibu rais ameongea, hata mimi napata nguvu ya kuongea.
The lawmakers in attendance called out leaders who are criticizing Gachagua's Mount Kenya unity bid.
You cannot disparage the deputy president and at the same time you say you are supporting Dr. William Samoei Ruto. That's a fallacy. Hiyo ni uongo, lazima tuambie watu ukweli. Hao wameshikana hapa kwa hapa.
Na kwa hivyo ndugu zetu waache kukua victimized because of their association with the deputy president. We stood by you. The Honorable Rigathi Gachagua was victimized by our brother, who we have also forgiven, just like that verse I have read.
Well, give us some minor reporting there. Let's head to Kisii, where a distraught woman in Kisii County is appealing for help in providing for 3 ailing members of her family, that is. The woman, only referred to as Alice, lives under squalid conditions with her mentally challenged husband, son and daughter after she was chased away from her matrimonial home in Nyamira County because of the condition of the family members. Let's get more details on that story.
Alice's life is a struggle. She has no option but to perform menial jobs to provide for her husband, 30-year-old son and 28-year-old daughter, all mentally challenged. Chased by her in-laws, the family moved to Sameta in Mokorero ward in Kisii County in pursuit of peace and better living, but all is not well. Beatrice Sunda says they have petitioned the area leadership to help the family, but so far not so much help has been coming.
Tunaomba kama mama yetu, Mama County, Doris Donya Toto, tunaomba usaidizi kwa huyu mama. Gavana wetu, tunaomba usaidizi. Kwa sababu, hatutakuwa tukikula, tukiacha wenzetu wakihangaika.
She says the family is in dire need of medical assistance.
Kama kuna usaidizi wa kusaidia, hao watu wachukuliwe, waangaliwe, waone ni shida gani, wasaidiwe tafadhali.
Ursula Mora says the family has had health problems for years. Mora says the illness began with the head of the family becoming violent and running away from home.
Anapotea kutoka kwa nyumba, wanamtafuta, anakosekana, anarudi, akirudi nyumbani hayuko salama, pia anapomoa nyumba, anataka kutoroka, ni kama kichwa kilipata shida. Sasa ndio kulemaa hivyo, tena mtoto wake kijana wa kwanza ndio na pia akapata shida, anaenda shule, anarudi, hakuna ulemavu pia, hapa ameketi huku ndio ameketi, pia msichana ndio huyo anaanguka chini kifafa, msichana wake tena.
Tilio Marco, Good Morning Kenya.
Now, residents of the Gitombe area in Kuria East Sub-County in Migori County are calling on the government to reinstate the General Service Unit police camp that was removed from the Mkarangarwe area. The residents say tension has been rising over a land dispute between 2 neighboring communities living in the region, and there are fears it could boil over.
Led by Ntimaru East Ward Representative Caleb Wambura Chacha, residents of the Mkararangwe area have expressed concern that the security situation could deteriorate in the region where the 2 communities conflict over the parcel of land.
Naomba kupitia kwa ngazi yako utusaidie tuwe na kikosi kingine pale Mkararangwe na pale Gitombe. Naomba wale maaskari ambao wamepelekwa pale tukutane, wale watu wa Rift Valley na hao wa Nyanza, tuwe na mwafaka jinsi wale maaskari watakaa pale.
Migori Governor Ochilo Ayako and his deputy Joseph Mahiri, however, urged the government to establish a GSU police camp at a location mutually agreed upon by leaders from both sides to strengthen security, while a permanent solution to the conflict is sought.
Leo mmenieleza kwamba the security officers wale walikuwa hapa juu wametolewa wakaenda kule. Sasa mimi kama gavana wenyu pamoja na waheshimiwa tuko nayo hapa, tutafikisha hiyo ujumbe kwamba maaskari hata hapa pia wanahitajika na wale wa juu huko wanahitajika kule juu, ili kuzidi kuwe na security ama usalama ambayo inatufaa.
For Good Morning Kenya, I'm Christine Matunda.
Now, the Kenya Wildlife Service has intensified its operations, deploying additional specialized officers and equipment to capture wild animals in Juja, Kiambu County. The special officers have been brought in from Laikipia, Nakuru and Nairobi, and the operation will run 24 hours a day until Juja is deemed safe.
Kenya Wildlife Service Senior Assistant Director for the Central Rift Conservation Area, Joseph Dadacha, has been tasked by the KWS Director General to lead the operation. Speaking at Tropical Farm over the weekend in Nyashaba, Juja, in Kiambu County, where the officers have set up camp, Dadacha said that special equipment including night vision tools, traps and devices to lure the hyenas will be used. Once the hyenas are nabbed, they will be located to areas far from human settlement.
Tuna mitego ambayo tunatega sehemu mbalimbali ili kuweza kuwavutia wale wafisi tuweze kuwanasa, na pia vifaa vingine kadha wa kadha.
Kenya Wildlife Service will also engage local communities through awareness programs to educate residents on how to minimize encounters with the wildlife, such as proper waste disposal, so as to avoid attracting predators and reporting sightings immediately.
Endapo atakumbana na fisi, kitu cha kwanza ni kwamba mwananchi asijaribu kukimbia, kwa sababu unapokimbia fisi ana kuwa motivated kukukimbiza na kuataka. Fisi sio kama wanyama wengine, ndovu au simba. Tunawaambia wananchi kwamba unapotembea hasa nyakati za jioni, ni vizuri ujihami na mawe au fimbo. Endapo fisi atatokea, unamtupia mawe, na utapofanya hivyo fisi mara nyingi huwa anatoroka.
On Thursday, residents of Nyasaba barricaded the Thika superhighway for nearly 2 hours to protest against the killing of a young child by a hyena. The 5-year-old boy, identified as Njoroge Gitao, was attacked and killed by a stray hyena that caused havoc and death. Villagers said the boy had followed other children who had been sent to the shop when the beast pounced at around 7 p.m. on Wednesday, September 4th. For Good Morning Kenya, I am Jael Wakesho.
Thank you, Jael. Agriculture Principal Secretary Paul Rono has directed the Kenya Tea Development Agency and the Tea Board of Kenya to fast-track the separation of 17 satellite factories from their parent factories in Kericho County. Now, speaking during a meeting with farmers and the tea stakeholders at Chelal Tea Factory that is in Bureti, Kericho County, Rono reiterated the need to grant satellite factories operational independence to ensure that the delivery of quality tea by farmers.
In a meeting that brought together tea growers and different stakeholders in the tea industry, the Agriculture Principal Secretary Paul Rono said operational independence by satellite factories will ensure quality production of tea.
We will not continue with factories, with satellite factories, and we talk about quality unless we separate the factories. Yeah. We will never achieve the quality we are looking for. The 17 factories were removed, please, and people ensure that you go on a journey to complete separation immediately.
This came amid complaints from tea farmers who demanded separate payments of their dues, with some stopping the plucking of tea leaves at Chelal Tea Factory, a satellite of Litain Tea Factory, stalling its operations.
We have not plucked tea for the last 1 week. And it is not that we have a lot of money, no. It is because of the challenges we have in this tea factory.
KTDA Finance Director Simeon Rugut promised to pay the farmers bonuses differently to each factory following the demands by the farmers.
Hii bonus ni hapa. Alafu kwenda mbele tutaongea pia na wengine. Hatuwezi kufanya yote immediately.
KTDA CEO Willy Mutai confirmed that the Chelal Tea Factory has been doing well in terms of quality and managing the cost of production, promising to act on the separation demand once the resolutions are handed to him.
In the Western region, hii factory ni number 2 in cost of production. Now mkinipea resolution yenye mmesema ya December na watu wangu waliwitness hiyo AGM, tuko nayo, tutahakikisha Monday kulingana na what PS and the leadership will say, nitatimiza asubuhi.
Martini Maslin, Good Morning Kenya.
Members of the Bungoma County Assembly are cautioning against the reduction of the county shareable revenue, saying it will hamper service delivery in the devolved units. The ward representatives, in siding with the Council of Governors, said the counties are already underfunded and cannot afford to lose more money.
The proposal to slash the county budgetary allocation by 20 billion is causing jitters in the counties. Bungoma ward representatives say such a proposal is an affront to the constitution.
Wenzetu ambao wako katika Senate na wale ambao wako katika national ambao tunaita wabunge, tafadhali mkao ya pesa, mbona wanakata pesa ambazo zinatoka national kuja kwa county, na kila kitu imekuwa devolved. Ukienda health devolved, agriculture devolved, part of roads, infrastructure devolved. Tutafanya namna gani kama sisi viongozi wa county? Mimi nikitaka bunge hakikisha kwamba pesa za watu wa Bungoma ziko wapi? Bungoma. Na pesa za Nairobi zibaki wapi? Nairobi.
The new figure, when adopted by Parliament, will be 5 billion Kenyan shillings less than what county governments received in the equitable share in the last financial year, and 20 billion shillings less than what they had already been allocated in the current fiscal year. In a memorandum to Parliament, President Ruto proposed an amendment to slash the county allocations to 380 billion shillings from the initially proposed allocations of 400 billion shillings. The move has been occasioned by President's reorganization of the budget after the withdrawal of the Finance Bill 2024. But the MCS have sided with governors, saying the proposed reduction will negatively affect service in the counties. Doreen Arange for Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you, Doreen. Now to matters conservation, where the Kenya Wildlife Service has called for coexistence between wildlife and people in efforts to end human-wildlife conflict. They made the clarion call during the Tharaka Nithi Cultural Festival held at Ura Gate area in Tharaka Nithi County, attended by 6 major communities living adjacent to Meru National Park.
It was pomp and colour, the Tharaka Nithi Cultural Festival at the Ura Gate area in Tharaka Nithi County, with cultural songs and dance. Locals drawn from 6 major communities adjacent to Meru National Park in the Eastern Conservation Area arrived in droves to celebrate cultural diversity. In efforts to end rampant human-wildlife conflict, the Kenya Wildlife Service called for coexistence.
Collectively carry out with the community for mutual benefits of the park as well as the community itself. And therefore today, as we observe this, we are looking forward to really marketing this festival to the country and as well as to the global community.
The residents acknowledge the importance of wildlife and tourism.
Iko na advantage yake, tukipeleka nini yetu na respondiwa haraka juu inakula mashamba, lakini tukireport bado wanafuatilia, tunasaidika kwa haraka.
Tumeona, tumeelimishwa kidogo, tuliambiwa kama watalii wakikuja wanaona na inaleta faida.
Sasa watoto wetu wafunzwe, wajuane na wanyama na wajue umuhimu wa wanyama vile sisi tulifunzwa tukiwa wandogo.
Serafina Nairobi for Good Morning Kenya.
Now, fighting corruption, where stakeholders in the human resource management sector have raised concerns about the increase in corruption cases at both government and private institutions, saying it has adversely affected institutional performance. The group is urging human resource practitioners to desist from engaging in corruption and unethical practices in their functional areas for the socio-economic development of the country.
Speaking during the 27th graduation at the College of Human Resource Management, Principal Margaret Kinyanjui noted that malpractices have been manifesting during planning, payroll management, recruitments, selection, deployments and transfer of staff. She said that human resource officers must uphold the highest level of integrity and institutional values for better results.
Ile kitu ningetaka kuambia graduates wetu, tafadhali wachunge wasiende kuharibu jina ya HR, kwa sababu tunajua kazini watu wale wanachunga watu katika HR wanapata jina mbaya, kwa sababu pengine kuna wale wanapewa hongo ndio waandike mtu mtu na pengine hata hana qualification. HR mnaangalia watu vizuri, mnaangalia maslahi yao ya mishahara, ya health and safety, mambo ya recruitment, lazima muwe na nidhamu kazini.
Her sentiments were echoed by Reverend Stephen Opio, who reiterated that the new human resource graduates have the power to turn around the integrity issues the country has been facing by ensuring that recruitment is done professionally and workers are employed on merit basis.
The responsibility of managing effectively the resources of this country is based on integrity. It is very important for us to be able to understand as HR professionals that actually we are the gatekeepers of the respective organizations under which we operate. And therefore what we do becomes an example or sets an example for the HR profession as well as the people that we manage within our organizations.
Kuna wanawake wengi katika HR kuliko wanaume, lakini sasa huyu boy child tumewatia motisha mimi hata baada ya kugraduate sasa mimi nitakuwa kielelezo kwa vijana wanaume ili waweze kusomea taaluma hii ya HR.
For Good Morning Kenya, I'm Christine Matunda.
Thank you, Christine. Now, women traders at the Homa Bay Fish Market say they are grappling with a severe shortage of the sardines, popularly known as omena. The traders are attributing the shortage to the ongoing clashes between Ugandan police and Kenyan fishermen, which has triggered a sharp increase in price of the fish, drastically cutting into their profit margins. The traders are calling on the government to intervene and restore normal trade conditions for stability in the market, saying they are frustrated and left struggling to serve their customers effectively.
Saa hizi bei ya omena iko juu sana. Siku ile nimechukua tu na 1,000 na saa hizi watu wanachukua tu na 2,000 kwa ile ndoo moja ya 10 kg.
Watu wa Uganda wameingia Kenya, wanakataza watu kuchukua omena kwa maji. Sisi wanawake tunaumia. Tunaumia serikali.
Now, moving on, the Mining Engineer Society of Kenya has raised concern over the impending closure of base titanium in Kwale County. Mining Engineer Society of Kenya chairperson, that is Joseph Komu, says the move will result in significant job losses and a sharp drop in government revenue from the mining sector. He emphasized the gravity of the situation, noting that communities living around the mine site, that is, would be the most affected by the closure of Kenya's largest mining company. Well, moving on, the National Council for Persons with Disabilities is appealing to over 6,000 persons with albinism who are not registered with the council to sign up to benefit from various empowerment programs. Let's get the details of that story with Parsai Frederick.
Only 3,800 persons with albinism are registered with the council against a total number of 9,700 persons across the country.
Kulingana na census ni watu 9,700 na wale ambao tuko nao katika database yetu ni kama 3,000 hivi. So kuna tofauti ya watu 6,000 ambao hatujui kule wako.
Speaking in Kitui during a grassroots outreach program for persons with disabilities, Alex Munyere, who is spearheading the registration, lamented that the council has not been able to trace the unregistered group despite numerous appeals.
Kwa watu ambao ni walengwa wa albinism, tunafikiria kutumia community health promoters ili watusaidie kuchukua information ya wale ambao wamejificha labda huko mashinani.
He said the council is currently working jointly with the Ministry of Health to trace the said 6,000 unregistered victims, as well as register them so they can receive government aid, which includes sunscreen lotion, sunglasses, school fees, and even startup funds for businesses. Parsa Frederick, Good Morning Kenya.
A look at sports now, where Eliud Magut and Cynthia Limo are the winners of the 3rd edition of the Nairobi City Marathon. Meanwhile, Robert Kiprop and Marion Kibor took top honors in the men and women's half marathon.